innovative content, global audience.
Yes, people. That Chris is here, and this is SRO TV, Robo Television, broadcasting all the way from London. Today is the 1st of April, and you call it April Fool. I guess so many things has happened today. People must have fooled themselves, ask questions. That's the essence of April Fool. What happened to you? How was your day? Well, I had this wonderful one on Facebook. I think it's the one posted by Prince Will. I don't know, man, where you get your things, man. They are quite exciting. All right. Tonight, I didn't want to overbase the topic, but I will have to. I wanted to, last week I talked about so many things, and one of the two things I really want us to take home as Nigerians, two very crucial things. One, I talked about the importance of minimum wage and how you can help the country, Nigeria. And I'm of the opinion, in fact, if I am your president, the minimum wage today would be 500,000 naira. I can prove mathematically how I'm going to pay that salary because I will be able to take from the rich and take care of the poor in a way that you won't even know it. Because those of you who are rich will pay more taxes, and from there, salary of the poor will be higher, and everybody will be motivated. Then we will all feel belonging. And that's one of those things I talked about. I know many of you think I'm joking, but I can prove this mathematically. And I went further the next day to talk about something very, very important. I talk about slaves and the slave master. And I argued that Nigerians currently, still boil down to what I'm saying, that we are slaves, while some of us are slave masters. And I tried to analyze the definition of who is a slave and who is a slave master. And I proved to you that when the white people came, it was their love for sugar. They came, they were looking for people to work for them. And they found out, hey, we have some workforce in Africa. So they start kidnapping us. Some of our people sold us out into slavery. The evidence are in America and in other part of the world today. This happening. As it was then, and if you imagine, the bottom of that slavery was that those people were taken, our people were taken out of Africa to go and work because they were not paid. If they were paid the normal wages, there would have been slavery. We have said, some few time ago that the white people or the European came to Africa to take us to come and hire workers. They won't use the word slavery because what they wanted were people to work for them. And it's just they agreed, no willingness to pay the right amount of money, that they start kidnapping them and forcing them to work without pay. In fact, not without pay, without paying the normal wages because they were paying us some small money to feed. We were their property. And so those were things, and they could trade us, they could sell us out. Shameful. Anyway, but then I tried to ask you, but the bottom line is, it's an economy thing. They didn't hate you. What they wanted is people to do a particular service for them. And they were not ready to pay the normal salaries. Because they had people in America, they had people in Europe then, who they would have engaged. But the salary of those in Europe were higher. So they decided to come to Africa to force us and take us as slaves. And I asked a question. What is the difference between then and now? That Nigerian government or my own people now engage our own services and pay us peanuts. Where on earth, Nigerians, where on earth do you pay somebody 30,000 naira salary? Where? In fact, you guys are laughing. It's laughable, man. It's laughable. And because of that level of salary, we now see people being engaged in stupid work. Like I said, and I really want Nigerians to listen to this. This is important. And for those of you in Europe, those of you in America, you know what I'm saying. I say it again and again that I've been in Europe for so many years. I don't know anybody who has a personal driver. Do you have a driver, you that lives here in Europe? Do you have your own driver? Who are you to employ a human being as a driver? You fool. Do you have a gate man? The people that clean the offices where I am is a company that contracted, and the people doing it are decent workers because they got paid. A cleaner in the United Kingdom could go home with up to £2,000 if he puts in a lot of hours. But a cleaner in Africa is like a slave. In fact, the driver here, if you have a driver's license in the UK, that is a license to work, to get a very decent job. Because you're sure of £2,000 a month. But the same driver in Nigeria lives with the slave master. They run around, they live there. They have no life. And I want to ask, who is a slave? Are you saying the slave trade then is different from now? Okay, let's take the case of the Nigerian police. And I'm going to compare with the British police. I know you guys don't want me to compare, but because I live here, and I said I have not stayed in Europe, I have lived in Europe. And it hurts me that in the United Kingdom today, I cannot imagine a policeman living with any bagger. You guys know what I'm saying. How many policemen are in your house today? Engaging in this same slave trade. It's a sin, it's inhuman, we need to stop. You are not giving them job. You are enslaving us. Oh, Nigerian government. What a stupid set of human beings. You are wicked. Because the painful thing is, again, in the same country where these people could not be paid, the funniest thing is, a senator in Nigeria earned 10, if not 100 times what an MP in the United Kingdom cannot take in 3 years. I don't understand this. Maybe I'm the one who is paranoid. And when I come to this matter, it gets so passionate. I made a movie called On My Return. And what I was trying to talk about there is really, really is annoying. Because what I was talking about then is, I think I want to show this. And what I wanted to talk about in that time, if you see what is scrolling on that, is the average salary of what a Nigerian senator will take away, higher than what an MP will take home in 5 years. An MP of a civilized country, the United Kingdom, cannot earn what your Nigerian bloody senator takes home in a year. What a senator here cannot take home in 5 years. What is slave? Who is a slave? And that is why I said, if anything, when you people are talking that you want some political reform, somehow Peter Obi will be president, how this one will be president, my interest really is only two things. We need to restructure the Nigerian system. And number one, elimination of slavery. The reason I know is I've been going around Europe for years now. Brother, call. Those of you in Europe, call that the decree said so. That I have not seen somebody in London with a driver who born up. I don't know any politician that have a policeman guiding him 24 hours. Who born up? Do you know how much a policeman in England get paid to come and guide you? Are you mad? You see, Nigerians, we are chasing the wrong enemy, the wrong shadow. Let us look for the right shadow and track it. Our problem is not just these politicians. They are part of it. But the country needs a proper restructuring. And it's not zoning power to north, south, east, west. That's stupidity. We have a problem. Not in the constitution, in the way we govern ourselves economically. If you guys can tell me there's no money in Nigeria, I will understand that. I know, man. This is shameful. It's very, very shameful. It's so shameful because I, I just cannot understand how we can pay a governor of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, his security vote, some are 2 point something billion. Peter Obi said it. Peter Obi, who was from a quiet state, and about his salary security vote then was what, about 1 point something billion. Ask them, these foolish governors now, sitting down there, what they do with that security vote. What does Buhari do? My God, I'm confused. The policemen are paid by the federal government of Nigeria. They are not the one paying our policemen. They are not the one paying our military. The state governors do not have any security. They pay. Yet their security vote is 2 point something billion. The same state cannot pay people 30,000 naira salary. And you said we are all born equal. You sick. Nigerians, wake up. No, and I like to bring the quote of the American. You know, I like this word a lot because it sums up everything I want to say. In quote, they said, all men are born equal, and we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, among which is the right to live life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. When the British heard that, they packed their bag and they left. That was the language they used to declare independence. This is the 13th declaration. There were 13 states then. Or then America were 13 states. This was the language they used. When they finished that speech, British packed their bag and they left. How come that we have not come to understand that we are all born equal? And that's why I say to people, I'm a Christian. I go to church, but my Christianity is not the blind one. Trust me, if I'm in a church and a pastor or a reverend father talk about, I go to Catholic. If they talk about the word Gentile, they better not point me because I will explode. I'm not a Gentile. God did not create me inferior to anybody. Maybe he created you inferior. I don't know about you. We are all born equal. And you know, in my analysis of talent in my program, I said something very, very important. That nobody's born daft. And we're not born with anything. We're born like a blank slate. It's a culture. We're born into a culture. It's the society that influences you. For instance, when I was growing up, there was nothing like a computer. Our children born in Nigeria today, in my village, not all of them, because some of them, some politicians have a lot of money, so they can afford to give their own compared to others. And I'm going to analyze so many things for you guys today. But my kids here, they're born, they have they've been playing with tablets since the day they were born, since the day they were born. And you're talking about television, something the kids are looking to see on television. A child is playing with it here. How can they have the same thing? In fact, do you know the first time I saw television, I was already 14 years old, about 13, 14 years. It was a village television. Not now. I wasn't born in a hospital. No, with my time. So you cannot compare my exposure to the ones here. We all have different realities, and that influences our ability to think, our ability to comprehend facts. Some of us don't even eat well. How can a person wake up in the morning and thinking of what to eat? And I say to them, if you think of what to eat in the United Kingdom, you're a madman, because there's enough food for everybody. Not food in your mouth. No, not in England. And you see, what I'm talking about, let me explain this to you. Now I'm trying to say something and it's like alien to everybody. Let me bring it very close to the home. In the UK here, my kids go to the normal government school. And yes, there are some private schools here, but if you see the level of the government school, you will be satisfied. They have every chance to excel everywhere. Now, come to Nigeria. Those people that have those big fence, you know where they take their children to school? Your child, where does your child go to school? In fact, it's only the wayward kids that goes to government school now, primary school. You can't take your child to government primary school. You are looking at me. But why? Is that not enough for you to even know that we are now completely mad? What and when I talk about the stupidity of our government, we'll come to that another day. I don't think I can have time to do that tonight. And I'm not going to take any call tonight. So I just want to pour my anger. I came here very, very angry. If Nigeria want to get out from where we are, the first and most important thing is to eliminate slavery from our land. And it is not, in fact, it is not the rich people that, it's not the government that eliminated slavery from England. Let me tell you, it was not the government. It was the rich people that introduced what we call the welfare package today. And I want to tell you, rich people in Nigeria, you want to be secured. You are able to steal some money, or you do some business, you don't pay tax, you're able to send your child to government school. The other people's children cannot go to the same school. And I'm going to insult a lot of people tonight. They cannot go to the same school. Your own could go to the government school. No, your own cannot. In fact, your children can go to the government school. You know how it is. But some people can go to the private schools in the same society. The implication is the money you pay for one child private school would have solved all the problem of all the government school. Let's put it this way, Nigerians, if we are not stupid people. If the money you calculate, you go and pay in private school, if all of them is put together to repair your government school, all the children would have been going to a great school. The implication is now some people are not having the normal education they're supposed to have. Awolowo once said that the people that will terrorize you tomorrow are the children we refuse to educate. Now, because we refuse, we don't want to carry everybody along. You carry your own child along. Now you are being kidnapped. I have no pity for you. I'm sorry. You're not in my book. Society can only move together forward. Individually, we fall. You are able to proud, I can send my child. Some of you don't even send your child to private schools in Nigeria. You send them abroad. The same place. Some people cannot even afford a square meal. Not to think of sending their children to school. Those children are going to grow up anyway. And you think what they're going to do? Look at you? I was talking to a lady. She said, she was telling me how the uncle are so rich that all the children went to private school, that if she had a chance, she would go and kidnap them. That's how angry she was. And I'm talking, this is 3 days ago. She was so angry. And I knew where she was coming from. Nigerians, what is wrong with us? Why do you think you can have all this money and send only your child to the best school, and my children will go to the dead school, and we think we're going to have peace? There will never be peace in any country where some people have enough money to send their children abroad to study, why some cannot even go to if you go to the government school, they can't even go to that government school. Yeah, the same society, government, a stupid governor earns about 2.something billion as security vote. And maybe the father of that child is on 30,000 naira salary. It's not even paid monthly. Sometimes. Who is a slave? Now, here you tell me that the problem of Nigeria is, some people are hoodlums. Who are the hoodlums? Are they not the ones we abandon? Either we didn't pay their father well. If any father that have enough money that didn't send their child to school is an imbecile. If I say it's an infidel, that is what the Bible says. No reasonable man. We have enough money and we don't want to send the child to school. Whatever happens in Nigeria, we get this in, we must sleep with our women, they go born. So are you saying that, let me ask you one question. Ibori became governor of Delta State. His father was not a rich man. Quote me. Ibori must have gone through one or two struggle Today, when he became governor, he became brother to everybody in the community, even to the state. Oh, Ibori is my brother because he's from your place. Because he's successful. He was not from a rich home. If Ibori had become a criminal, he wouldn't have been your brother. The same Ibori that you call your brother today would have been nobody. You for not they associate with him. He didn't go to school, or maybe even after school, he joined crime. He's no more your brother. Hey, if we help to grow a child, when the king came to my house one time, I was in Lagos, he was praying for me. He told my mother that there's a language used. You give your child is a child, you give birth to a child for the community. A child is never your own. The reason I know is when Ibori was a governor, he was a brother to the whole Ugara, the brother to the whole Urobo nation. Sheriff now is now a brother to everybody. Those of you that are associated with Sheriff, that don't even know where he was born. I'm sure Sheriff parents were very poor. He doesn't look like somebody that comes from a rich home. And you know the funniest thing? It is even now the children of the poor people who are supposed to have learned from this. And I said to everybody, did you go to a private school? Where? If the time you were going to school, if the opportunity is for only those who can afford to go to private school, Ibori wouldn't have gone to school. Sheriff went to school late. And yet these same people don't think of making education easy for every child in the community. You are evil. You are stupid. I don't know whether you have a place in heaven, and I feel sorry for you. You are all participating in the slave trade of today. I despise inequality. I can cut anybody that preaches inequality head off without looking back, because you are destroying the soul, the fabric of our own society. Nigeria is in trouble today, not because we don't have money. It's just because the money is in the hands of the few and others have nothing. It is just left for the government to introduce proper taxation and pay the stupid fool less and pay normal people normal salary. Everything will normalize. There's money in Nigeria. There's no other country that is richer than Nigeria. The money are in the hands of the few. And government is able to justify that. I don't understand that. What I'm talking about today is too big for any of you to understand. Our problem is not the Hausa that is going to be president or the Igbo man is going to be president. It's not about Peter Obi. Our problem is the unacceptable gap between the rich and the poor, and it is institutionalized. That is, the government is doing it, the private sector is doing it. So we are leaving some people completely behind. They will come and attack us. Yaradua said it. He said these people will come and they will vote against us. Young people, I'm talking to you people tonight, and I cannot stop talking because you are the future I see. The problem we have in Nigeria is not that we don't have money. What we have is money. The problem, the debt Nigeria is owing, a man can pay it. One Nigerian idiot. How much does Dangote have? What is he going to do with the money? He's going to die soon anyway. I don't understand this. I have nothing wrong with people that can afford to be rich. But I'm saying that if you're going to encourage the service of anybody, the minimum salary for a decent Nigerian should be 500,000 naira. What is wrong with that? Let me explain this. Sorry. If Omar Agege, I don't usually my brothers, but I don't have a choice. If an average senator in Nigeria, the figure is rolling right now, can earn that amount of money, how come that we cannot pay a policeman 500,000 so that he can respect himself, have a home, have a decent family, and concentrate on the job rather than looking for 500 naira on the street? Nigeria, crime will remain, insecurity will remain a self-fulfilling prophecy for us until we eliminate to a great extent this unacceptable poverty or this unacceptable slavery. Poverty is understandable. If the country is poor, that Nigeria is so poor, we don't have money, it's understandable. Nobody have issues with that. But have you driven in your village? Now, the same village where you see some people in some unacceptable conditions, I don't think you ever go there. They're ready to die soon. I don't know how they even live. Yet you go to the next place, you see this massive mansion. I'm not saying it's not okay to be rich. Oh. What I don't understand is I don't see that in Europe. Where a man will have all these things and the next morning will have nothing, and you want to be secure. You're stupid. Unless you own your country alone, you go and create your own country. As long as I own the country with you, I have rights. We are all born equal. I don't know how you made that money. And the most annoying part is even some of the money are even government money. I will continue to preach violence if that is what needs to be done. Poor people, I don't care. I'm not talking about young, rich, or poor. Young, rich, is Muslim, Christian. We need to come out and say no to poverty, no to slave trade, because there is no poverty in our land. What is going on in Nigeria is slave trade of an unimaginable proportion. If you know what you are entitled to, that is being taken away from you, and you are fighting your next born neighbor in the name that is maybe Shekiri man or an Urobo man or an Ijo man, you are stupid. These people are not your problem. Your problem is the Nigerian state that supports slave trade. So if you want to do restructuring, it's not who become the president of Nigeria. In the next voting, this voting we are talking about, it's not about that, but an elimination of slave trade. So what I'm saying, people, is young people should come out and demand from the bloody house of Assembly Representative and the Senate, calling for the minimum wage in Nigeria to be 400,000 naira. Let's start from there. It is too easy to pay. Now, some children must not go. How much do people pay in their private schools of the children? How much, people? How do they even get that money? I don't understand. And that's why I was supporting the president when he said everybody should bring out their money. Go and change it. Whatever you bury the money, bring it out. I was supporting. I didn't care. I was not in Nigeria, but I didn't care whether people were dying. It was needed. Some of this money are stuck in the bedroom. They will never use them before they will die. They will not use them. And that's why I don't like Tinubu. Baba Tinubu, be clear. I don't like you. Not because of anything. It's nothing personal. I don't like your level of riches. The Bible said it's easier for a camel to pass through the eyes of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. You guys don't read that portion of the Bible. And I accuse not only the Nigerian listen, I even bring it down to your Nigerian pastors who are all participants in this slave trade. You're all slave traders. How can I not despise you guys? I live in a society where it doesn't happen. How can I support it? Why? Give me one reason why I should hide my tears. I'm crying, I'm weeping. My soul cannot stand this. If I have a problem with the Nigerian state, it's this slave trade. If we can fix that, you see, I came to the show tonight and I didn't want to talk about this. I wanted to talk about how do we emancipate our slave from slave trade. That was what I wanted to talk about, which is not so far from this. But the anger, the frustration of what I see, I think I should keep ringing it like a Liberty Bell. We have a problem, people. Our problem is not poverty. The Nigerian state is the richest you can think of. The truth is the money is in the hands of few. Actually, some of them are stolen. Others, because the government refused to structure a society that works. Imagine, in those days when we were growing up, there used to be pipe-borne water. And for those of you that think you are rich now, don't you think it's cheaper for you, actually, if there's water running around the community, that you draw water into your house rather than having to go and dig that borehole? The water is still not good enough. You end up digging everybody now drink pure water. Because we choose to make water by ourselves. Now, the implication is the water we are providing for ourselves is not good. So somebody else is now engaging in doing water and selling to us. If the government was supplying us water, it should be our joint effort to start to make that water good enough for drinking. I don't understand you people. Down to water. You wanted to have or eat all. Now you spend how much buying diesel in a month for your generator? Had it been the government is rich, won't they just give us electricity? And you don't have to spend all that money. You spend it, you steal it to buy all the diesel for yourself and your family alone. Let me put another way. You want to be rich, you want to be the most powerful man. Now you are not powerful because you are not living in a cage. You know how high your fence is. You cannot afford to keep your gate open because you know poor people are out there, they will come and attack you and your children. They are kidnapping you, raping your women. If they catch them, they won't release them. And I cannot understand. Sincerely, I cannot understand. Where is your wisdom? Where is the wisdom in all this? Nigerians, explain to me. Maybe I'm too stupid to understand. How we can be doing this to ourselves. We say white people came to enslave us. Is it the same white people enslaving us now? Is the current slave trade in Nigeria orchestrated by white people? Are they there? Is it the British people that are enslaving us now? Does the British tell us not to pay ourselves decent wages? Who did this to us? When I come here to talk, I didn't come to be your friend. I'm here to do what God asked me to do and I walk away. I don't need your friendship. I'm arrogant. And so be it right now. To the truth, I am very frustrated. And if we want to come out of this trouble, this hole where we find ourselves, it's not about preaching Christianity. My people, go to church from Monday to Sunday. Like you people go, you will remain poor. Your pastor will be rich and they go to sleep with your wife. I know they're sorry for now. You are a fool. Yet, it's God that tells you that, hey, that it's easier for a camel to pass through the eyes of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. Your pastor fry hair. He they preach good. Look at that rich hair. The members don't get food. They don't get. And my people go there every Sunday to clap. Now you are angry because when I talk on this religion, everybody don't explode. You are a fool. Big man, now you be. Now only God will save you. It's not God that asks you to do what you're doing. It's your stupidity that put you into slavery. So some of this slavery is actually self-inflicted. Because idiots like you refuse to listen to voice of reasoning. Where on earth did God tell you to go and pray from Monday to Sunday that He's going to throw manna in heaven? Where? And you know one thing I said? I know many people don't agree with me tonight, but let me ask you this. Of all the miracles that have been going on in Nigeria, I ask you now, anybody that can call this platform now and say, they see one person when he's blind before he don't they see from a village. Mother, show me one. No, if you not show me, God will punish you this night. Show me one person that was blind in your village today that can see. All the miracles that you have been talking about. Sometimes they say, Bele, they pay me, the Bele, they pay me again. You be lie. Show me a person when you know from the one when he's blind. Today they see. Why the pastors not perform miracle, make Peter Obi win? If they use out of them, they were condemning, praying, they want to Islamize Nigeria. Why not perform miracle, make Peter Obi win? The God will not call out. You are mad people, man. You stupid. Sometimes I don't want to call myself. I don't want to be associated with you people, but this is my home. I own Nigeria the same way you do. We have equal stake in it. It's my father's land, it's your father's land. You don't own it better. We are all equal before God. You're not better in the presence of God than me. I don't know who preaches that to you. God did not create me lower to any human being. I am of the same thing. I am creating the image of God and likeness of God. That's when I see myself in the morning. I don't know about you. Whether you're creating the image of the devil and the other man is created in the image of God, I don't understand you. Maybe Adiboye or Oyedepo is created in the image of God, and you, Akpa, is created in the image of the devil. Let's not go into religion tonight. Maybe tomorrow is a good day, but let's talk about the rich and the poor in Nigeria. It's disheartening, my people. The reason why this is so painful is here I am in England. I don't see things like that. If course, they will not even accept it. And you know the funniest thing? The politician that is raping you and I, the pastors raping you and I, and our family are the ones that are your best friend. That the Christ is your enemy. A politician that refuses, he's going to tell you, he's going to help you. He's going to go there and help you. He's going to bring pipe on water for you. Go and look at the water he's using. At the end of the day, everybody is insecure. And before even the funniest thing is true, the kidnappers, before they can get to them, they don't kidnap you, kill you. Nobody will care. So go on now. I'm waiting. As you ignore me, shout to me that the Christ is evil. Your children, they go first kidnap. Because this guy, they have big fence. Do you have a fence? You don't. Young people, I am crying to you tonight. Our problem is not who become Nigerian president. The time to stop them is now. We need a new litigation. And they start with only one thing. At the end of the day, my people, you know what is important? We the Robo people, we the Ijaw people, we the Edo people, we the Igbo people, we the... Now, you go back to your room alone, to your family. What I want you to think about is a society that can go down to you at home. And the only way that can be done is when there is a proper reform of the Nigerian system, that the rich people that have our money stock, they don't need it. They are confused with the money. Let us take it from them. Some from them, not all, so that we use it to build a better society and even give them their money back, if so be it. I am saying that if I'm your president, for every big building you have, you pay tax to the local authority. Big tax. And not the rubbish you do now. Big tax. From that money, we'll be able to take care of our challenges. I beg again and again that the money coming from the federal government is supposed to go to the local government. The state must not be in charge. Let the money get to them. And local government must use the money for the benefit of the people. And Nigerian government should learn to be productive. I cannot beg you people more than this. I don't have a lot of strength tonight because I am in the middle of a big project and it's consuming all my strength, and so I will not be able to quarrel further. But tomorrow I want to really go a little bit further on this topic because tomorrow is Sunday, and I just want to say today is April 1st. I don't know whether you people had a couple of April Fools and a couple of things in your heart, but I am begging you, Nigerians, that our problem, at least in those days when we're in Europe, we say because we are black, we are white. Now, we are the same skin color. Abi? Actually, sometimes they burn you for Yoruba land. If they burn me in Lagos, I'll be speaking Yoruba more than my language. So those of you that were born in the north, you speak Hausa more than some of us, most of even northerners. If I grew up in the east, I was speaking better Igbo today. My kids in Lagos, they speak Yoruba more than any other. They can even speak my language. My kids here in London can only speak English. They don't know how to speak my language. So it does not matter which language you speak, which religion you practice. Let the society be practicable. Let it be useful. Let it touch each and every one of us in a positive way, so we all can move in the same direction. If we leave some people behind, they will come and hurt us. It's the same people we left behind that are now criminals kidnapping us. They are the same Yahoo boys now. We left the young people. Now they do Yahoo, they're ready to take from you. I don't blame them. They have no case. Go to heaven. Go and ask God. As you are complaining that the boy took money from you, God will ask you, say, all the money you get, what do you take and do? Are you the one that earned that money? See, people, let's be fair. I didn't want to go into the political time tonight because I see a lot of shit going on in my state right now. Even that the security network in Roboland are crying out that the federal government, the little money they gave to secure the land, that nothing got to them. Now, it got to a point now they are now fighting over security money to secure oil pipe. And I want to say to these kids, really, and that's really irritated me. One, Omagege is the typical, no, I don't, because he just lost election. I don't want to insult him this period because I want him to deal with his loss. But, sir, is this how you want to live your life? At the end of the day, do you even need this money? That some money Tompolo now brought is not for you. And to live what? What do you need this money for? Now you lost the election. The money cannot even do it for you because if it's money, you would have done it. And this is where God works. Please, let's get to the facts. Let's get to the reality. We need to carry everybody along. It's in our interest. In your interest, my interest, so that you will all be secure to some extent. I don't work in England and thinking I'm going to be kidnapped. What are you talking about? If the people choose to commit that crime, the government cannot stop it. Police here don't carry gun. But because this element of carrying out, the people they have a reasonable good life. As long as you stick to the law. So the enemies of the state are less. Now the enemies of the state are much. That's why when any small thing happens, the children run. They want to go and break into the bank. And I can tell you, nobody that is from a good home, that is well-to-do, will go and break a bank. All those friends you see climbing, those things are people we left behind. And they will continue to plague us until we change this mentality that we can succeed alone. Nigeria, we're in problem. Problem is artificial. No land is as blessed as Nigeria. But there's no land as cursed as Nigeria now because of our making. I am calling on every one of you tonight. It is time to take slavery from our land. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk about how we can emancipate ourselves from this slave trade, because some of them are self-inflicted. I was talking about religion slightly today. I'm talking about you crying, jumping for the politicians, because you're actually glorifying your own slave trade, your slave trader. But I understand that because you're in the blind. There's a parable Bishop made here. Some of you are blind. You see, Bishop said, when you stay in the darkness for some time, go into darkness. After some time, you begin to see. But it doesn't mean that you're no more in darkness. You are still in darkness. So that you can see in darkness doesn't make you are living in light. When you are light, you don't need anything. You don't need to struggle to see. But in darkness, you need to wait for some time before you can see little. We deserve better. We can do better. Nigerians, we are now poor people living in a rich nation. And then you have some people who are super rich. Some are super poor. You know Asokoro, where they live. And you know where they live in Yanya. I was asking my staff today, they said for her to leave Yanya to central area, that in fact, they don't even touch their phone when they're going back home. The same Abuja. I'm sure if your phone, you don't even mind whether you drop your phone in Asokoro. People in Asokoro will not steal your phone because they have enough phone. They are not in that category. If we just think well, this crime will go if there's a little bit of things in our pocket that make us decent. Nobody is born criminal. There's nobody born. So this money born now is going to be a criminal. No! It's a situation on earth that puts people into crime. And the Nigerian state is actually an incubator. The Nigerian system is a breeder of criminals. And the way they do it is through this slave trade. So in order for you to get out of slave trade, to break yourself out of slavery, you have to do some extraordinary things to get out of the slavery. And I can relate to that. That's why you see some of them desperately running out of the country to Europe. I left Nigeria for Europe. Fear of poverty. Misguided. Yes, but I think I have no regret. Maybe God did it for a reason. Yet, you see, some people are there, successful. Those are the ones that are the survival of the fittest. Those who couldn't. If you go to my village, I can count the people that are surviving. Other than those few ones in the Buri class, I'm talking now. The rest are dead. I'm talking now, they'll be the one to even slap me. They say they will kill me. You need to read the election. I only make a comment on what I think about it. I don't even give a damn who go to the House of Reps. But I was concerned that that lady is really, really not it. Sorry, she's not. She got no clue. You people have to fight till everybody let her go. She's gone now. When I fall and go, people like us will always be fine. God have made me. I'm never going to be hungry. I'm not coming to Nigeria to beg you food. I've climbed that level of poverty. So you're not talking about me. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to think of food I'm going to eat before I die. That ain't going to happen to me. So it's up to you. You glorifying nonsense. And then you'll be kidnapped tomorrow. I don't have pity for you anymore. You need to wake up. Stop glorifying nonsense. Very important. And until the Nigerian state, and let's direct our anger, it's not the Muslim. No, the thing that really annoyed me during this election. When all the pastors who are raping our women came out and said, hey, you must vote according to your faith. What bloody faith? It's the same God that is the God of the Muslim. It's the same God as the God of Christian. Which God are you talking about? Which God are you praying to punish you? Which God? Sometimes you people talk to me as if I'm stupid. So God is going to punish me because he's a Muslim? Or he's going to punish me because I'm a Christian? You are stupid. God is for everybody. That's why I said, you see what I put in my platform tonight? All men were created equal with the same love from God Almighty. I'm created in the image of God. I don't know about you. Why would God punish me because of you? When God broke this world, it was his intention for us to speak different languages. He gave us different ways to reach him. Different ways to reach him. Some reach God through Muhammad. Some are reaching him through Jesus. Some even reach through the African traditional religion. God is God. You're telling God, oh, God is going to do this. I don't know where you people get that from. So God is going to go and kill the Muslims. So all the Muslims on earth are going to go to hell. You're stupid, man. Where do you get that? The Pope will not say that. Pope Francis will dare not say that. And he's even too intelligent to say that. Because that man is a very sincere man. Where do you people get all these things from? Now, why did you tell the same God to win the election? That is going to come and kill and decrease, so you swear now, swear for yourself, idiot. Why didn't you tell him to win the election for you? How gullible are you people? That a person could tell you that rubbish. I can even tell you that you'll be rich tomorrow. He's not rich. I was there the other day. A boy said he's going to pray for me to get everything. They call me, my in-law. They come and say, oh, Daddy, Christian, when I catch you, they won't kill you now. I said, okay, who's going to kill me? I'll be laughing. You know, my faith is blind, my people. Don't mind me. These are welcome. I'm ashamed of you people. I'm ashamed of Nigeria. We cannot be doing this to ourselves. It is wrong. Let us wake up today and truly identify our problem. The politicians are not really the problem because they themselves cannot even fix it. They think they do. They think they understand. What can Tinubu do? I can tell you, Tinubu is already a failure from day one. Not because of Tinubu himself. Baba wants to do the right thing so that his name will be glorified. But he cannot. The only reason I know is the Nigerian system is ungovernable. A system that pays a senator that huge amount of money and pay you 30,000 naira is a dead system. It's dead on arrival. Baba understand that understanding? Does he understand that? Is he brave enough? Is he not a slave trader too? If you reach Baba car, you know where Tinubu park cars. He'd be like who they say. Baba, you know what I'm saying? Do you need all those cars? No, I'm not even having a problem with that. But if Baba, if not do me one thing, increase the minimum wage in Nigeria to 300,000. Let's start from there. But this 30,000, 50,000 naira, God no go forgive us that we are enslaving our own people in the 21st century in the name of a country. Because if you not so, maybe I'm the one that is mad, but how could you pay a senator this amount of money and you cannot pay? Who born them? Are we born equal? Are we human beings? What services of the body senator that goes there and sit on his fat ass, mess for himself, and collect that money? And the people that do the decent work, grabbing to grow Nigeria are paying 50,000 naira. Who teach us all this? Is that what the white people taught us? You know, that's why I say to the British sometimes they don't tell us the truth. Our problem is not corruption. Our problem is this structure that is dead already. They don't practice that here. I am telling you, I'm speaking from London, United Kingdom tonight. We get well paid in England, not because the jobs are better off than Nigeria, but we get well paid for everything we do. That's why we don't have a personal driver. Hello? Do you know anybody who have a driver in London? Mona called me, go there. If Nafi show me somebody that have that personal driver and how much the man is paid. I'm not saying you cannot even have a personal driver. If you don't have a personal driver in Nigeria, that's fine. I pay him $1 million naira salary. I'm cool. Because you're not going to keep the man in your house. And he's going to do 8 hours and go home. There's a decent working hour. Are you people living in this 21st century? Funny enough, I'm reading law and I'm talking about this employment law. It's confusing me. You know, guys, hey, what we are doing is equal to slave trade. And quote that decrease anywhere. Slave trade needs to be taken out of our beautiful land. And we can do it by ourselves. Nobody's going to help us on this. You know, I know I've offended many people. I don't even want to give room for phone calls tonight. I know why. Because nobody, even when I open this conversation, maybe I'm alone in my world, in this thing I'm preaching. But I don't know of another alternative. If you guys know, please tell me. Where on earth, even in Eastern Europe, you know, and the West, they came and they taught us that the Russian philosophy of that Marxism, which they want to call communism, is bad. And they taught us capitalism, which is the meaning of slave trade anyway. But actually, they don't do it like that in their country. In America, go and look at the minimum wage in America. So you are free to be rich, but there's a limit of poverty that is allowed in the United States of America. Our case is on. In fact, nobody, we shame no will let us tell people that we're getting paid 30,000 naira. How much is that in British pounds? In a month. Hello? In a month. Stop now. And they tell me there's somebody called Labor Union. The day I will see you guys. In fact, Daddy Chris is coming. And these are the people I want to talk to. Do you know what is called Labor Union? Do you live in a civilized world? Does Labor Union ever have a sense of reasoning? Can we make a simple demand? And this is what I'm saying now. It's even better for everybody. Let's take, for instance, I'm not saying you cannot employ somebody. You can give the person a job. Get the person a cleaner. Let him be cleaning your house. All I know is you pay him 500,000 naira. Let him clean. But after 8 hours, he goes home because he's not your slave. That must stop. After 8 hours, the man go to his house. If you do anything more than 8 hours overtime, you add to his money. Nigerians, it's easy to control this. Because then the rich man doesn't need to steal money to buy 20 cars so that he can get 20 slaves. Let him pay well. He will not have more than one driver if he ever try it. And you know what I'm going to do? Because I'm going to put fire on his ass. The house is paid. By the time you pay the council tax there and pay that driver a decent wages, country will be liberalizing. And as you pay him, you pay government our income tax. We earn money. But because the people are so foolish, the government is getting a lot of money from oil, which they are stealing on their own. They don't look at the society as a whole. We're living in a blind world. You blind. And I'm proud to tell you tonight that I live in a civilized world. You are in a blind world. A world where there is slave trade is not a 21st century world. Nigeria is not living in a modern time. I only pinpoint slavery now when I talk, because this slavery is amounting to no law and order, which is the rule of law, which I talked about. Because if the slavery were eliminated, in fact, the enemy of the state will be less. So the government can now deal with the enemies of the state. We have a common enemy, those who are trying to attack us. In the UK, when you commit some crime, that's old woman, one person will just call the police. You don't need to tell the person, he will call the police to come and pick you away. Because we all believe in the same state. Do you believe in Nigeria? What is there to believe in? That my children are taken as slaves? And you know the funniest thing? They don't even use the government alone. Now you're using this religion to cage yourself more. I've never seen people so religious like Nigerians. And I don't see that in Europe. They don't go to church here. The people that brought the church for you. I live in the Anglican world. The Queen is the head of Anglican. Oh, now King Charles will be the head of the Anglican. Hello? They go there on day of ceremony. And you know what? You go there every Sunday praying for what what you're asking from God, God has already given it to you. You are disturbing God. You're disturbing my God. Leave my God alone. You see, I'll come to you and I'm going to talk about that again. I've done it before here. Can you leave God alone? What God has given to you, you are calling on him every day to come and give it to you. Has God not blessed Nigeria enough? He gave you oil, gave you beautiful land, everything you're thinking of. I've never heard that there's a hurricane in Nigeria. There's nothing, you don't have national disaster. What is stopping you people from farming? Not good, better for those people when they call themselves leader of the 21st century in Nigeria. I am angry. And it has to stop. Ladies and gentlemen, because I'm not here to talk much, and I end up talking for an hour, I thought I'm going to do this for 30 minutes. I don't have the luxury of doing that. So I'm going to go on a quick break. And when I come back, I will throw a little bit light on the Nigerian week. Tomorrow we'll come back, and I'll be more strong tomorrow to do this because I have a lot of things going on. So I just rush in to do this show with you guys because I still have a problem. I still believe in Nigeria. I love Nigeria. And for those of you that is there, I think Nigeria is a baby that we can feed. I believe in Africa. Actually, I believe in one world. The whole world, I believe in it in such a way that poverty is not a will of God for his children to be poor. And that's why God gave this world everything. But some of us in this world decide to take it all and leave the rest. Like what the white people did. The same God that created everybody. He left us and he was watching you go to Africa to take people and take them as slaves. Now, some of your colonists, some of the people, your cronies that you left are now enslaving us back home. The sin is still on you. We all need to wake up and take out poverty. Slavery. When I say poverty, slave, poor, slave, they are the same in my book. Let's go on a quick break. And as we go on this break, we want to thank Nigeria for what he has been able to do for us. Thank you.
All we need is love.
My fellow Nigerians, the Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo, both home and abroad, especially the youths, remember that we still stand on one Nigeria. For the unity of our great beloved country, Nigeria, is not negotiable. And to keep Nigeria one is a task that must be done.
Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria! Nigeria no go scatter, your national policeman says so. Carry go!
Nigeria no go ever scatter. Now you want to scatter.
And do you hear what the man say?
Nigeria no go ever scatter. Now you want to scatter. Now listen. Our great leaders making Miami well. No united we stand behind every farm. There should be no more corruption, insecurity, unemployment, power failure, religious discipline. Innocent people stop bombing. Churches are mosques, schools are order. Because Almighty God called them killing. This is my advice to the terrorists. Everybody got to change you. Change from the bad to good, good. Nigeria no change. We gotta sing it together. Change you. Everybody got to change you. Change from the bad to good, good. Nigeria no change. Change, 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 change. We want to congratulate our leaders, our new leaders for their victory. We believe on. We are going out for the train. Do you wanna go with me? No more. The first way you can stay in the country change. That is why you want to be fucking. I tell you.
Nigerians, don't worry.
Oh, boy.
I know that we must get to the promised land. My fellow Nigerians, don't worry. I know that we must get to the promised land.
Naija no go ever scatter. Now you want to scatter am. And do you hear what they want to say? Nigeria no go ever scatter. Now you want to scatter am. Come follow me, say, come follow me, don't.
Change unto the terrorists. Change unto the kidnapper. Change unto the armed robbers. Change unto the bad leaders that scatter Nigeria.
You need.
All we need is love.
This is a Muslim, we love one another. Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, love one another. North, South, West, we love one another.
Nigeria, good people, great nation. We are the giants of Africa.
Come follow me, say, come follow me, don't.
Nigeria, good people, great nation. We are the giants of Africa.
Through the people, the original police, but they found the yard along my side. I can see for the peace, so respect life. Cannot go ever scatter. Now you want to.
Nigeria will never scatter. You know why? I know many people don't believe in Nigeria, but I believe in Nigeria. You know why? Because I know Nigeria is not our problem. In fact, the major victim of all this rubbish that is going on is Nigeria. Nigeria is suffering because of the activities of men. The brand itself is unique. Nigeria is not our problem. That is why that the Chris is celebrating what I call the Nigerian Week in London in May. And when I meet my people, the Nigerian people you're talking about, these are people with good intention. And you see young people get up from nowhere. So now what do you want them to do? Even especially the young people, they've done a lot. It's the greedy older generation like us that are evil. And the funniest thing is these people that are evil now, they came from very poor home. They didn't have the same background. They were not born rich. They were born poor. Look at the level of politicians in office today. They were all born. Maybe that's why. Because when a poor man begins to see money, he begins to behave like God. Even though the child that is born rich, he wouldn't value money that much. It's because they were so poor growing up, that's why the now misbehaving. If not, Nigeria itself is a beautiful brand. Beautiful. You see a young man from nowhere now make music. I'm bringing Nigerian musicians, I'm bringing legend to come and perform in my event. And these boys are behaving well. Made name for themselves. The Nigerian state didn't contribute anything. The only thing Nigeria did for them is a population, have a population that is good. For us to strive. We don't need Nigeria to break. The rest, let me give you an instance. How can Nigeria break? Break to where? Europe decided to come together. For one thing, economic progress. And because the reason I know, before they formed the EU, the Dutch mark, in fact, I was in Slovenia then, they call it Slovenia dollars. They were rubbish currency. Today, they now came together and they formed the euro. The euro is now higher than the American dollars. That was their mission. They achieved it. Power of coming together. How can you break Nigeria? Somehow, the whole of West Africa should come together in one country. Break to where? Where we break into? We're not breaking. Go and ask yourself what's the problem. The problem is the gap between the rich and the poor, which is not done anywhere in the world. Go and solve that problem. Nigeria is not your problem. Nigeria is the best thing that ever happened to us as a people. We should be grateful to have Nigeria. And I said to the Igbo man, if Nigeria does not exist, are you going to sell all those things you are selling in your village? Nigeria gives you a lot of place to go out and prosper. Nigeria gave everybody. In fact, Nigeria gave us a big market where you can put things and you survive. What is wrong with Nigeria? Tell me what is wrong with Nigeria. It gives you enough place that I can leave my place. And now I have an office in Abuja. Beautiful. It's my country. What is wrong with that? Is Nigeria your problem? Your problem are the fools who keep the whole Nigeria in their pocket. We need to kill them or take the things from them. And so that we all can progress together. Or we need to beg them to drop whatever they have and understand that together we can survive. Alone, they will die. We will die, they will still die. So we need to be hard on that. And this is not an issue of religion. Nigerian problem is not the Muslims, it's not the mosque, it's not the Christian. Rubbish! The pastors are even worse. I will say it too. I know you guys don't like me. I know when I talk reach where the pastor did, blood would come off from our body. Those of you that would have supported me won't support me because I don't talk with you to offend you. But I'm saying you the truth. Go and sleep this night and ask yourself, what is the problem in Nigeria? Slave trade. Even distribution of wealth. Because we are so rich as a people. God bless you. I'm not going to say more because a lot of people are angry. They're ready to eat me up right now. I'm here tomorrow again to actually deliberate more on this. And I'll be talking about the Nigerian week, which is really dear to me. Now, you know what is so beautiful? I said I'm going to celebrate an event called Nigerian Week in London. I don't have shortages of musicians. They are not all from Delta State. None is even from Delta State. Okay, one is from there. They are not my brothers. And I was talking today, somebody said that it's from my place. I said, who give a damn from my place? Who's from my place? I'm a Nigerian. I'm working for the brand Nigeria. And the opportunity, I now have a cultural dance from Niger State. One of the best. The national troupe is coming. What a unique opportunity. Nigeria is so beautiful, my people. The problem is not the brand. The problem is the people. Not everybody, the few, the thieves among us. Let us deal with them. And some of them are actually victims of their own success. So we don't need a proper reform, a thinking generation that will come and say to, oh, no, guy, you are rich. Oh, we're not saying your money should be taken away from you. But this is what we want to do. We want to have an equal society, a better society, in such a way that you pay a little more tax so that you'll be more secure, sir. In fact, if you give us more tax and we're able to make a better road, then you don't need to fix your car every day. You know, you have good road for everybody. And the most important thing, you will not be afraid because people on the street will not be after you because they have a life. It's a win-win if we run an even society. I'm not saying everybody's going to be the same, but what is going on now, you're pushing people into crime. And until we stop putting people in the bush in the name of Fulani herdsmen, why would they live in the bush? They need help. They are not criminals. They need help. They need help. And until we take those things out, they will remain a problem to us. And the funniest thing, my brothers and sisters, they're not kidnapping the rich people, they're kidnapping you and me. So be angry, shout at me, hate me, follow the politician. Maybe before you say they don't carry your wife. They're not going to carry my Agege wife. They won't get there. Agege has slaves protecting him. Sheriff has slaves protecting him. Do you have? I end my case there tonight. Tomorrow I'll be back again. My name is Adi Chris, and this is SIO TV. I broadcast from London tonight. It's not April Fool. It's real. Enjoy this. Good night.
SR TV. Innovative content.